Hello from the Big South Network studio. I'm Mark Bryant, and this is another edition of our season preview series for the 2024-25 basketball season. Very happy to have with me right now head coach of the Winthrop men's team, Mark Prosser. Season 4 as head coach, season 10 with Winthrop altogether. We just talked about that. Welcome, glad to have you.
No, thank you so much for having me and having us today. It should be a lot of fun and a really competitive season. We're looking forward to it.
Let's jump right into the new season then. What are your thoughts so far as you look at them? We don't know behind closed doors what's happening. Early season practice, where are things?
Yeah, I think probably all of us, I think before you start playing games, everybody thinks they're winning a championship, and I think that's good. I think there's a lot of positivity. I think, every time, the outlook with fresh faces and with some guys coming back, I don't think we're unique to say that, we feel good about where we are. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. We're nowhere near a finished product, but the preseason is just so long now, from summer school into the fall, and, getting to that point where you're a couple weeks away from actually tipping it up for real in live action is just such an exciting time of year. I think you get to those dog days a little bit where your kids are practicing on a day in, day out basis against one another. I think they're ready for some new challenges, and we just got to make sure they're totally ready, even though I don't know that anybody is on opening night, but they've done a really good job. We have a really good group, and it's been a lot of fun to be with them the last several months.
And a key part of that, one of the top players in the Big South back this season, Kelton Talford. What areas is he seeking to improve on this year, and what do you have in mind for him and his evolution in the game?
Yeah, my plan for him is to stay out of his way. He's been so productive, one of the most productive players in college basketball and Division I basketball over the last several years. And I think his off-season, his preparation was, developing a total game and being able to play away from the rim a little bit, understanding where he's going to have an opportunity to go potentially professionally, and how an expanded game can help him with that paycheck that's going to come, in the very near future, wherever it is, overseas, here, wherever that is. But understanding that, what he's done to get himself to this point where his bread is butter is around the rim, and he's been elite at it, and 6th in the country in field goal percentage 2 years ago. Last year, I believe he was, I think you have to have, 5 made field goals a game. I think it was like 4.99, or else he would have been 9th in the country, I believe, ahead of Zach Edey, who ended up having a pretty good year. So just an amazingly efficient, great kid. Hopefully I have a chance to talk to him today. He's a wonderful person as much as he is a player, great family, and what we want Winthrop to be about. And so, we're fortunate. I think, in the days, the times that we live in college athletics, we're really fortunate to have KT back again. We know that. We don't take that lightly, and the loyalty and the commitment that he's had to our program and our school. Just a really special kid, and was probably in that conversation for preseason player of the year, but certainly I think he's done enough to warrant that.
So if he's the cornerstone, let's talk about the rest of the foundation. What other returning players are we looking at, and what roles are they filling?
Yeah, I think, we have a really good blend of returning players with bodies of work at Winthrop, and we've added some good pieces as well, I think. We have 4 double-figure scorers returning that played in our system last year, that will all be seniors for us and have been around college basketball for a little while, so we'll rely on them a lot for just overall system implementation, system understanding, and helping the new kids. We were able to bring in a freshman and some transfers with that group, and some other solid players that are coming back that have been with us. And so, I think it's a really nice blend. We have a good group of kids. They're very, very respectful. They listen, they try, almost to a fault sometimes to do what we ask them to do. And so, it's I think it's like everybody else. Everybody loves their new kids, right? You don't recruit guys and say, oh my God, I can't believe we recruited that kid. But we're really fortunate to have the group that we have. Again, we finally had an opportunity to see a different opponent last weekend. That was fun for us. I think that's part of the team building process. And we look forward to the opportunity of doing that again soon.
So looking at those new pieces coming in, who are the key pieces we need to look at, and what are they adding?
Yeah, I think, I could go on and on about, we have 6 new guys, and we have guys that have been highly decorated where they were. We have, Division III All-Americans. Ryan Jolly was a terrific player down at Piedmont College, scored over 1,300 points. Tommy Camerad came to us from Arkansas Tech and started his career at junior college, but scored over 1,000 points at the college level to this point already. Guys have been highly decorated. And then other guys that came from, Ty Hamilton's a Charlotte kid that came to us from William & Mary with a huge upside. Bryce Baker is transferred to us from Old Dominion. He's also a Charlotte kid, and have had opportunities at the Division I level already, but I think have fit very, very seamlessly into our system and can build on the foundations that they already have. And so, we're excited about all of our new kids. And right now is you have that depth, and right now it's everybody's rainbows and butterflies until the first game. You see what the minutes are, and so there's a natural and a healthy sort of give and take, and it's reasonable to expect there to be some expectations and some jostling for time going on. But I think everybody at this time of year thinks you're really deep, and then by the time you get in a league play, maybe you're playing 7 or 8. But at this point, I think we're really deep. Where that number gets to is a function of how we perform moving forward. But I know that they've all had returners, new guys. They've all had moments since we've started working out in the summer where they've been really good. And I literally, had that whole conversation, left out Logan Duncan that came to us, who was a top 100 player that started Indiana, who's been really, really efficient as well since he's been here too. So it's been a lot of fun to get to know those guys and for them to get to know our system and one another. And now it's just putting it on the floor and seeing how they do, when the lights are on.
I'm sure the Winthrop fan base got the schedule and they started looking down the list, and they got to Eagles at Louisville, and that means former Eagles head coach and your colleague Pat Kelsey. How did that game come together?
Yeah, I think it's something that that everybody's looking forward to. There's a lot of excitement, certainly on our campus. I saw Coach Kelsey this summer, and obviously, I think it'll be a lot of fun for all of us to be a part of. It would always have made sense. I got to work for Coach for 6 years, and I've known him. He was literally my visit host when I visited Xavier when my father was the coach there 100 years ago. So I've known him forever, and for whatever reason, it never really worked out when we were at Western and they were here, or when they were at Charleston and we were here. So this year was kind of the first time I had the opportunity to work out. It should be a lot of fun. They're talented. It's going to be a really difficult road game for us, but that's what we want to do. We want to challenge ourselves against the best, and you can look into our schedule and see that we're trying to do that. But that one will be special in a lot of ways, and it'll be a lot of fun, and fun for our kids too. And Kelton was a part of a championship season with Coach Kels, and so it'll be fun to sort of reunite and reminisce a little bit with those guys, and then the ball go up in the air, and it probably won't be nearly as much fun as it was pregame, but hopefully we go up there and have a great experience.
Broadening the scope beyond that one game, what else in the non-conference schedule are folks going to be looking at, especially who's coming to Rock Hill and then the MTE in November?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think we have a very, very challenging schedule. I think, when you add, obviously you mentioned Louisville, when you add Indiana, Florida State, and Virginia Tech to those, and, we've had a chance to play Florida State a couple times over the years, and obviously Virginia Tech and Coach Young is somebody I work for and know very well and have a huge amount of respect for. So those will be really fun games. I've actually never been to Indiana. Logan has, but that'll be a nice homecoming for him, and a great experience just being in one of the sort of storied venues in college basketball. I haven't had a chance to be out there to coach. So, and obviously I think we have a good home slate as well. We have a really challenging out-of-conference schedule, to open up with Arkansas Little Rock on homecoming. That first Saturday is a great challenge for us really early in the season. The MTE is going to be very, very talented as well, and I think having it right there in the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center, which is beautiful, is a nice venue, and the hotel's right there, and it went really well, in the planning process, and I think it'll be challenging. William Mary's good, and Georgia Southern's good. Those guys are, North Carolina Central is always good, and very well coached. And so, there'll be a lot of hopefully high quality Division I basketball in the Rock Hill area, and hopefully people will come out and support it.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. We look forward to seeing it. We wish you and all the Eagles the best of luck this season. And we thank you for watching another edition of our basketball preview series for 2024-25.